The following is a special tribute to a man who, 40 years ago as a trainee, started on the Rainbow Opportunity Road. 12 years later, in 1958, he reached the top, the presidency of Rexair. His career exemplifies the opportunity that exists for everyone in the rainbow business. This is the story of J.V. Sanders, the man, the legend. A carrot-topped young man from the Blue Hills of Kentucky landed in the office of Rexair President T. Russ Hill on borrowed money. He turned on the heat for a job selling rainbows. It startled Hill at first because this was the only man he had met that wanted to sell and not be vice president. However, because of his age, Hill believed it would be a waste of time to have him go out and try to sell to the shrewdest purchasers in the nation. Hill told him to come back when he was more mature, but the young man didn't budge. J.V. Sanders just sat there and waited until he outsat him. If indeed J.V. Sanders did outsit T. Russ Hill, it was the last time he stayed in one place for any length of time. From that point on, Sanders' rise to the peaks of success can be described as legendary. The starting place has never been as important as the finish line for J.V. Sanders. The drive, ambition, and willingness to work for a goal showed up early in his life. When he was 12 years old, he took a job selling newspapers. He soon graduated to other products and had accumulated considerable direct sales experience by the time he had graduated from high school. He also saved enough money to put a down payment on a house for his mother. After graduation, he began working for Procter & Gamble as a specialty salesman. Then on June 26, 1942, Reverend Alonzo Kleagle married Margaret Elliott and J.V. Sanders at the Third Baptist Church in Owensboro, Kentucky. World War II began, and J.V. Sanders was quick to volunteer to serve his country. He enlisted in the U.S. Air Force on September 16, 1942, and served there until November 29, 1945. While in the Air Force, Sanders made the decision to return to direct sales when he got out of the service. His ambition was strong, and he wanted to work at something where the opportunity for advancement and profit was limited only by the willingness to apply himself. After he was discharged, J.V. Sanders went to Memphis, Tennessee for a short vacation with his wife and daughter. While staying with relatives, a rainbow dealer knocked on the door for a demonstration. Seeing the demo made his decision easy and provided him with the impetus for that now famous visit to the Rexair executive offices. After that visit to Detroit, J.V. Sanders returned to Owensboro, Kentucky with a lot of determination. The first days and weeks weren't easy. As rejections piled up, he had to call upon his determination and courage to carry him through. It soon paid off. During his second month, J.V. Sanders became a member of the Elite Colonels Club, and by month's end, had 40 sales to his credit. By the time he advanced from the dealer level, J.V. Sanders had racked up 8 colonel qualifications. one coming in a month when he had written 79 individual sales. It was an impressive achievement, but only a small indication of what was to come. In February of 1948, J.V. Sanders was promoted to sales supervisor of the Louisville branch, and in August of that same year became sales manager. The Louisville office then tripled its August volume under the direction of this dynamic sales manager. Not allowing his management duties to distract him from personal sales, he sold more than 300 Rainbow units in 1949. In January of 1950, J.V. Sanders was named the branch manager in Richmond, Virginia, less than 4 years after the first time he picked up a Rainbow and knocked on a door. During the 3-year period in which he was the Richmond RGD, J.V. Sanders won a total of 10 King's Crowns and placed in the top 6 4 times. His office reached a high of over 1,000 sales in 1 month. When the position of Southeastern Sales Manager was introduced in September of 1953, J.V. Sanders was the obvious choice. In the 10 months he held the position, J.V. Sanders brought his region to the top of the heap 9 times. September 1954, only 8 short years after his fateful visit to the Rexair executive offices, J.V. Sanders returned as National Sales Manager, a position he would hold for the next 2 years. On the anniversary of his 10th year with Rexair, T. Russ Hill announced that J.V. Sanders would be honored with the first Sanders Month in 1956. March would be the month in which dealers could win prizes for meeting and exceeding their sales goals. The momentum J.V. Sanders had established early in his career seemed to build as the years went on. He was named vice president in charge of sales in September of 1956. Finally, the board of directors of Ward Industries, the parent company at that time, announced that J.V. Sanders would become president and general manager effective May 1st, 1958. In the short span of just 12 years, he had worked his way from trainee to president and touched every base along the way, but still wasn't through. Prior to the 3rd Sanders Month, the Rainbow World picked up the February 1959 Rex events, which proclaimed on page 4, "Big dreams come true." Rexair had been purchased by J.V. Sanders. An accomplishment of this stature would be an appropriate place to end a story. But with a dynamic rise of J.V. Sanders' career, this was only the beginning. He was expanding his own opportunity to include others, something that would always be a trademark of his career. The dedication and enthusiasm he had directed towards the accomplishment of his own dreams would now be directed towards the accomplishments of others. Rexair would be bigger and stronger in the future, but more importantly, new avenues of opportunity would open. Like an early pioneer, J.V. Sanders had blazed the trail and shown the way. Now he would work to clear the trail and make the journey easier and more promising for those to follow. Each dealer, manager, and distributor had the opportunity to make his or her dreams come true. The 60s saw J.V. Sanders begin to build his Rexair dynasty. Key personnel were starting to develop through the opportunity that was now available. Under the new direction of J.V. Sanders, Rexair was on the move. President Sanders was in high demand at King's Crown and payoff banquets. He was always in the spotlight, crowning winners and awarding prizes. From Cadillacs to Corvettes, J.V. Sanders has given away more cars than most game show hosts. He has never shied away from the detail work that is so important. Mr. Sanders has done everything from helping clean up the office to buying donuts or serving the guys dinner. He has even helped his dealers clean up. Appearance is so important in direct sales. In the mid-60s, J.V. Sanders turned his love of horses and horse racing into $1 million business. An accomplished horseman himself, he purchased Sandera Farms in 1970. Today, he owns about 30 horses in Florida and Michigan. With all the promotional and payoff trips through the years, J.V. Sanders has traveled around the globe many times over, making every stop along the way. From rubbing elbows with Las Vegas stars to visiting young Chinese children. Through the Rainbow Opportunity, J.V. Sanders has been able to see everything that the world has to offer. In the early 70s, J.V. Sanders was looking to the future once again. He believed Rexair could better grow and survive tough economic times if they were part of a larger corporation with unlimited capital. J.V. Sanders searched for a company, and on October 14th, 1971, selected Kidde Incorporated. The business places heavy demand on President Sanders, but he handles it with poise and determination. During his valuable free time, he enjoys relaxing on his new 39-foot custom Sea Ray, plays golf and water sports, or simply spends some time with his family. In 1982, J.V. Sanders developed the Pacesetter concept. This coincided with the onset of the Total program. Things were really about to start happening. Sales began to skyrocket with his ingenious plan. The Rainbow Elite would travel to top resorts in the United States for 5 days of meetings and business sessions. Pacesetters soon developed a special closeness between one another. During these meetings, the Pacesetter social and business calendar are equally filled. Gourmet dining and casual barbecues are both part of the agenda. During this time period, President Sanders assembled a staff second to none. All are proven professionals who aren't afraid of hard work and know how to get the job done. These are the men that J.V. Sanders has chosen to take Rainbow to new heights of success. J.V. Sanders, the man, the legend. His story is an inspiration for everyone to reach beyond their greatest dreams and expectations to seek a new plateau of performance. J.V. Sanders believes that to live life to the fullest, you must have big plans, big ideas, and big thoughts. Then you must take the necessary action and pursue them with all your heart. The success you can achieve depends on one person, and that person is you. Your dreams can come true through the Rainbow Opportunity if you are willing to apply yourself. J.V. Sanders is living proof.